Thank you guys for coming back to Cobra TV, and today I got an exciting show for you. We got the developer, we got Francis here to talk about his game Within the Cosmos, and if you're into No Man's Sky, I think you're going to be into this. This is it's a sci-fi exploration game, and Francis is going to be here. We're going to sit down, we're going to talk about this, we're going to learn more about it. Francis, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. I was doing a live stream and on one of my smaller channels, and we were scrolling through IndieDB, which is where I usually try and find some ambitious games that are indie games that seem like they're ambitious, you know, to kind of get things to talk about on the main channel. And we came across your game Within the Cosmos, and we watched the trailer of it, and people in the chat were actually blown away by what we were seeing. And we're also blown away by how much, like, it looks like it was influenced by No Man's Sky, which is our favorite game here on Cobra TV. So we like our sci-fi games, right? It's not just No Man's Sky, but we do like sci-fi games. And everybody liked it. I liked it. I was blown away. And then so I tweeted it out, and we got in contact that way because I guess you were telling me off air somebody had commented that they seen it on Cobra TV, which is awesome. Yeah. So I would like to thank that Cobra, which that's what the fans call themselves. They call themselves Cobros. They made it up, not me, but I love it. So thank you for saying that in DebDev's YouTube video there. But Francis, what is Within the Cosmos? Just real quick, give us a rundown. We'll get into the specifics later, but what is it?
So basically, Within the Cosmos is a sci-fi first-person RPG.
Okay.
You explore planets, encounter different life forms in combat or dialogue. So basically, you search for who and what attacked you and your crew.
Okay.
And the choices that you make will affect how the story progresses and how the story ends. And yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so real quick before we get any further, let's get a little history on DebDev. Is this your first game with the DebDev?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. And how many people are working on Within the Cosmos?
It's just me, one person.
What? Wait. Hold the button. Like, back up the bus. All right, let's put on the brakes. So what we're seeing was done by just you?
Yeah.
My God, man. How long have you been working on this?
It's been over 4 years. I would say probably like 3 or 4 months away from 5 years, roughly.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been a while.
Okay. So 4 years ago, you decided to start making this game on your own. So are you doing the music for it and everything? Like everything?
No. So I do the programming, most of the art. Some of the things I use like pre-built assets for some of the things that I just couldn't do. But the music, I also buy that as well. But the programming, the gameplay, everything like that. Graphics, that's all me.
Where did the idea for Within the Cosmos come from? Are you one of those just a developer that just had like these dreams and aspirations to make an amazing sci-fi game, or what inspirations, or just where did it come from?
Yeah, that was basically it. I've always loved space related things growing up, and video games, of course, and then eventually I just decided, you know what, I want to make my own space game.
Right.
And that's how it was born. And then the story behind it was created heavily influenced by Star Trek's stories.
Ooh.
So yeah, Star Trek was a really big influence in how the story was crafted and why.
Okay.
Because it deals a lot with like morals, morality, ethics, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where the idea for the story came from.
Okay. So you said you were heavily influenced by Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I think you also mentioned on Twitter that you were influenced by No Man's Sky as well. Can you touch on that a little bit? Like, what influences did you pull from No Man's Sky?
From No Man's Sky, it was definitely the aesthetics, just like the colors of it. It's the vibrant colors and how they have the contrast and everything like that. It was it's a beautiful game to look at. So
okay,
that was something I used to reference on for the art.
All right, very awesome. So you mentioned the story as well. What kind of a story are we looking at? Is it the same kind that we see, like where you uncover lore that we see in some games, or is it a heavily influenced like narration or a text narration story, or is it like a regular game campaign, or is it just one that you have to discover?
So it's like a regular game campaign. So it's like there's like the main story, so you have to follow through it to progress. But obviously all that, how it progresses and things like that is determined by what you say and what you do to in the dialogue and stuff like that.
All right. And it's obviously an open world sandbox. Is it like considered a sandbox?
I wouldn't say it's open world in that sense, because it's still relatively linear. It's like open hubs, pretty much.
Okay.
So it's not like you can just go off and explore an entire planet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's like regions. That's how it is.
All right. So that brings us into a nice segue for the next question we have here on the list: map size. So what are we talking? Okay. So you said it's not the entire planet, and so expand on what you mean by regions. And just a general map size, and are we talking about different planets?
Yeah, so it's different planets. So basically there's 6 planets, and in each one there's hubs, which is where there's outposts.
Okay.
And that's where you will go to do the main missions or side quests, things like that, and then you can leave that area. But it's not a huge open world, you know?
Okay. All right. And okay, so is there any space flight?
No, we had that initially, but it just didn't fit anymore as the game developed. So we just cut that out.
Okay. And what about while you're on the planet? Do we have any like vehicles that we could commandeer? Any like spaceships on the planet, or any Land Rovers or anything like that?
On the ground, no, there's no planets. I mean, there's no vehicles on the ground, so it's just all on foot.
Okay, it's all on foot. And so what kind of enemies are we fighting? I noticed that there was a lot of droids or something like that you were shooting. Are we going to find any fauna or anything like that that's going to be dangerous as well?
Yeah, so there's, apart from the main enemy, which are those robots that you see, there's fauna, there's different life forms that attack you. And every single planet that you go to has different types of life forms in there. Okay. Some of them are dangerous, some of them are not, you know. But yeah, there's a lot of variety there. Okay.
And is there any exploration to it? Like, do you get anything for discovering certain type of fauna?
No.
What is a typical playthrough of the game campaign, and what do you do after that? Do you have just complete control just to muck around and do whatever you want?
Once the game is done, the story is over. So there's no like you can't go back to it.
Okay.
But you can replay it because it's an RPG. So you will see how the choices you make this time are different from the choices you made last time and things like that. So it's really replayable.
All right. And so I see this is going to be on Steam. Is there any plans to release this on consoles in the future?
I would like to, but not right now, no.
Okay. All right. So it says here on your Steam page, the year is 2278 and humanity is on the verge of extinction. You were sent there to preserve the human race as they are fighting a war they will not win. You are one of 500 people who work for the UESA, United Earth Space Agency, who were put in cryogenic sleep and sent to the planet Bareth 2. I think I said that right, Bareth 2.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Okay. A planet that is tucked away in the Dalio. Did I say that right?
Yep.
I'm on a roll. I need to get a soundboard. Have people like a soundboard of people cheering me on when I do something right. The star system, a system that is hidden and far from the war. However, once you arrive, you and your crew come under attack by an unknown enemy, and it's up to you to figure out who is behind the attack and why. So that sounds interesting. How long do you think the campaign would take someone to go through?
So I would say the average person that probably dabbles here and there in some of the side missions, but doesn't do everything. Probably about 7 to 9 hours, roughly.
Okay. All right.
Obviously, it could take longer than that if you do everything in the game. It could be less than that if you just go straight through the main story and that's it.
So if you just rush right through it and do, just do what needs to be done to progress forward, it could take about 7 to 9. But you saying that there's other things you could do that could make it much longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be released on Steam. No plans for consoles yet, and it says right here that it's a single player. Are there any plans for multiplayer?
There's another game mode in it called Swarm, which I wanted to have multiplayer in it, but
okay.
That's going to be something I'm going to have to look into post-release to see if I can, if I'm able to get that done.
Okay, and explain what is Swarm, and for anybody that's listening, it's not going to be there when the game releases. This is just something that he's wanting to do after release. Got to state that because there's been some, people get, when they have they hear something, they're like, oh my gosh, he lied, it's not in the game.
Yeah, the game that's coming out, it's just straight single player. That's it.
Okay, so explain what Swarm is.
Yeah, so Swarm is a completely different mode from the main campaign. It's kind of like a horde mode type of thing.
Okay.
So, did you play the Mass Effect 3's horde mode?
Right.
How it was like objectives and things like that, and it was, and then at the end of it, you have to escape. So it's similar to that in that sense.
Well, that sounds pretty fun, and it'll be just like a co-op, like you and a couple friends, or you and a friend, just back to back like Contra.
Once I'm able to add the multiplayer in, yeah, that's how it would be. Yeah.
Awesome, very awesome. Well, I look forward to that. Just want to reiterate again, it's not going to be on the initial release, and we're not even for sure if he's going to be able to put it in post-launch. So,
yeah, exactly.
But I do look forward to that. I like getting in games with a friend and just having fun. Single-player games are great, but I just love. Here recently, been playing a lot of co-op games where it's just fun to get in with people and work together instead of turn around and shoot my best friend in the head. I mean, that's
exactly.
That's fun too. That's fun. But like games like Deep Rock Galactic, oh man, it's just so much fun to get down there and just co-op together and just get into a lot of trouble. Okay, great. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you would like to mention about the game? Any questions I didn't ask?
Well, I wanted to mention the things about there's companions in the game.
Ooh, companions.
And yeah, so there's companions that you take with you, and you meet them throughout the game, throughout the story, or side missions and things like that. And they can go with you as you explore the planets. And then, depending on who you have with you, it would affect how some things in the story progress.
Okay.
And the companions, they have their own personalities, their own opinions, and things like that. So if you say or do something that they don't like, they will let you know about that, and possibly turn against you.
So are we talking about like animal like companions or robotic?
No, so there's robotic companions, and then there's also humanoid, like aliens. Ooh. That are your companions. So yeah, those are the companions right now in the game.
So if you sit down to have yourself a snack and you don't give your alien companion any bites or any food, he's gonna beat you up. So no, that's obviously a joke, but it's obviously a joke. But you said that they could turn on you. So so how does that happen? Like if you start failing missions, they're like, man, you're gonna get me killed, and they just start shooting at you.
No, so the aliens are not like they're not stupid. You know what I mean? They're right. Like humans basically. So they know. So they have their own opinions and things like that. So like, let's say you're just an asshole to everybody, you know, they might not like that, and then they'd be like, you know, I don't want to be your companion anymore because of how you act. You know,
that's so awesome. Yeah, you're left all alone. And,
yeah, exactly.
Well, I hope they're not like humans, because most of us humans are pretty stupid. So I hopefully they're more advanced.
Yeah, they are.
Well, that's awesome. Companions, man. That's pretty cool.
Let's see. So there's also suit augmentations that you get. So as you so you can augment your suit, and then it's like basically skill trees. And you get what's called modules, and you get that through leveling up your character. You get experience points through getting kills or doing different things, choosing different dialogue options. You get the modules, and then with the modules, you can upgrade your suit, and then you get abilities like invisibility or time dilation and things like that.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. So since it's released next month, you got this thing already bug free, ready to go?
I wouldn't say bug free. I have another few weeks that for me to clean everything up. But it's mostly bug free right now, and hopefully by the end of this month, everything will just be running smoothly. And yeah.
Awesome, man. That's great work for you, just you. Man, I thought Hello Games was a small team. You know, Hello Games keeps going, we're a small team, we're a small team, and you're over there like, hold my beer. I'll show you what a small team looks like.
As small as it can get, right?
Yeah. Half the time I developed it, I was half asleep, so it's more like just half of a developer. So what's your plans for the future with DebDev? I know you haven't released this yet, but you got to be looking to the future. So maybe the future within the Cosmos, what that could bring post-launch. Well, we heard about the Swarm, but are you thinking about other games or even expanding to have more people?
That really depends on the success behind Within the Cosmos. If I could get more people with me, you know, that would be great, because it'll be so much easier to get that done, to get games done. But yeah, there's definitely other ideas that I have for games that I want to make once Within the Cosmos is done. Okay.
Are you like a strictly sci-fi developer, or are you wanting to get your hands in other genres?
I want to make games from different settings, so not just sci-fi, but most of them will most likely be RPGs, because that's just what I love to do. So yeah, they're almost always going to be RPGs. Okay, very awesome. I love RPGs, man. I love RPGs. Yeah, me too.
Okay, Francis, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, talking about Within the Cosmos. I can't wait to play it next month. What's the release date?
The release date is May 31st.
May 31st. Okay, May 31st, yes. We're going to be able to play this. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to release a video or two about it on the main channel. And
thank you. Thank you.
No problem at all. And thank you for coming on the show to talk about this. I really Thanks for having me. Yeah, no problem, Francis. Okay, I wish you good luck, and you're free to come on the show anytime you want it, and if there's any updates or anything that you want to talk about for your next game, or something you want to talk about with this game. So, you know, sometimes games get released and things happen. So, you know, there's I'm here. If you ever want to come on, talk about anything at all, just message me and we'll get you on the show.
Thanks so much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Francis. You have a good one, and stay safe, buddy.
You too.